I'm not sure if my eye got hit a little bit too hard or I'm seeing things, but I keep seeing a couple of little flurries pass by my eyes every few minutes. Just a little tiny bit. I think it might be starting to snow. I just wanted to talk quickly for a second about being out on the water at this time of year. Yes, it is November 18th. Yes, the water is cold. The water is a lot colder in the spring than it is right now. It takes quite a while for the water to cool down from summer and actually freeze. I don't think the lakes fully freezed up here last year until sometime around January or February. It might even been March. Like, it was late because it's just been so warm. So I'm actually excited because I've got a new thermometer coming that I ordered online, and you put it in the water and it measures the temperature of the water. So that's going to help me a lot, because then I'll know, you know, best guesstimation based on this chart that I saw on a website, and it kind of gives you like the amount of time that, you know, you have before you have to get out of the water. Right now, I'm not in any danger being out here. I'm trained to be out here. I generally don't fall out of my canoe. I've got my PFD on as always. I'm dressed properly. I've got warm, dry clothes and the ability to make fire like the shortest distance away. My car is 20 minutes away. So I'm doing all of the things to make sure that, you know, I'm not going to have any issues out here or die of hypothermia if I fall in the water. So I just wanted to mention that. I do put posts on my social media pages about this, but this is a YouTube video, and I have different people who watch YouTube than who look at my Facebook or my Instagram. So I just wanted to kind of mention that. And we're back. I came back and I brought the first load of wood and I stuck it underneath the side of the tent there. And then I opened the door and I said, oh, you know, I'll get the fire started. So I just grabbed one fire stick. I get them from the Dollarama. And I put a couple of pieces of wood on the bottom and then some pieces of kindling in there. I lit the fire stick and I just, you know, closed the door and closed it up, and I went back to the canoe and I got the rest of the wood and brought the canoe up, was taking some pictures, doing a few things, and I go back in the tent to take my PFD off and it's roasting in there. And it's just like two pieces of kindling going. So it's not that cold out. Again, when it's minus 20 or minus 30 out, you know, it's going to be harder to warm up the space, but it's just so quick. It just like delighted me. Anyways, so I'm going to do a few more things here and then I'm going to get in there. I'm just out here taking some pictures and videos. Got the stove going real nice. Lots of smoke coming out. And I can hear some on the tent. So I think the rain is starting. I'm going to tie up the canoe and flip it over and go pee real quick and get inside my nice, comfy, cozy, hot tent. I wasn't imagining it. There's some little snowflakes on my tent. Just the beginning. I'm going in, I'm freezing. All right, well, my video just automatically turned on the light, so that was nice. And then I was like, what's that reflecting over there? It's my life jacket. I usually put my life jacket underneath my head area, under my sleeping mat, so that it lifts my head up a bit, helps me to breathe at night. It's finally starting to get warm in here. I just pulled my thermometer out of my backpack, so I'm going to wait a bit to check it because it's not accurate yet. It says it's 5, and that's not right. It's just warming up from outside. I got a little clothesline put up here. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that in here, and I'm glad that I am. There's all kinds of little hooks and loops everywhere inside the tent. So I just put a little piece of rope in between them. I got my socks hanging up over there, the ones that were my rubber boots, which are also sitting over there. And then my CO2 detectors hanging up, as well as my Flextail pump, which is also a light. It's already starting to get dark. It's 4:45, and I can hear the snow. It sounds a little bit like freezing rain, but I did see snowflakes before I came in the tent, so I'm pretty sure it is snowing. And in the background, hear the fire huffing, which I love that sound. It sounds like a train. It's just like I haven't put very much wood in, just a couple pieces to get it started, and I haven't added anything yet, so we'll see how that goes. I am currently sitting in my canoe chair. There is room to have the other chair there as well, which is good to know. I believe that this would be sufficient to sleep 2 people. I would probably pile all the bedding on one side, and then 2 people could sit on this side, and then when it's time for bed, you would have to kind of get rid of the chairs or whatever you're sitting on, and then just move one of the bedding areas over here. The wood could go behind the stove or in front of the stove. Anyways, that is all that is going on right now. Thermometer is moving up, up, up. It says it's 10.8. I don't really believe that. I think it's warmer than that, but I'll check back in a bit. I'm just gonna sit here and chill for a bit, and then I'll think about getting dinner started in a little while. I had lunch pretty late, so I might wait a bit. The snow is really pelting on the tent, but there's just a little bit at the bottom on the skirt. And I think this is probably close to accurate now. It says it is 17.5 degrees. It's sitting right here. Not really close to the stove, but just around the height that I'm sitting at. I'm sitting on the ground right now in my canoe chair, which I'll probably stay down here until I finish making dinner. I'm going to be making chicken quesadillas tonight, and I was actually going to bring some frozen chicken and then like chop it up and cook it on top of the stove, and I kind of screwed myself up today. I had some cooked chicken in the freezer that was in like one of those vacuum seal bags, so I brought that, not even thinking that I wanted to bring uncooked chicken so I could do some cooking on the stove, but oh well. It's interesting, this stove. I'm just keeping an eye on it, making sure that everything's okay, making sure it's not leaking smoke, making sure everything is good. The aluminum tent pole is barely even hot, and the tent's not hot near the pipe or anything, so everything seems good so far. Some people have been wondering why I'm changing my gear up. For one, my solo hot tent is a homemade hot tent. I made it 6 years ago. I didn't even think I would ever camp in it at all, let alone 6 years, 6 winters, some temperatures down to minus 42 Celsius, and it has always done me good. The last few years, the weather has been changing due to global warming, climate change, and the winters have been wetter than ever. I remember last Christmas I came home from Niagara and I had snow up to my doorknob, and then 2 days later it poured rain for 2 days. There's a lot more precipitation in the winter now, a lot more freezing rain, a lot more rain, the temperatures are warmer, and my canvas homemade hot tent is treated with waterproofing spray. It's water resistant to a point, but if it's gonna pour rain for 3 or 4 hours, eventually that canvas is soaking through, it's getting heavy, and it's leaking on me. and I don't want that. Now, a lot of the brand names, maybe all of the brand names, they have a much better waterproofing system that they're using on their tents, and the canvas is thicker. It's 10 point, most of them are 10 ounces or 10.2. The canvas I use, Painter's Drop Cloth from the hardware store, it's like 8 ounces. So yes, it's treated, but it's made for winter, right? And it's not made for the rain. And with the winters being more rain, I just thought it would be better to have something more equipped to deal with the rain. The other main reason was for the weight. I like to backcountry camp, and I wasn't going backcountry as much in the winter because my gear was really heavy. The stove and the tent combined 33 pounds. This stove and this tent combined 8 pounds. So it's a huge difference in weight, plus my gear, of course, but you know, I was going up hills that were like little speed bumps, and they were just killing me because I had so much stuff on my toboggan. I'm going out by myself. I need to bring everything I need, and I'm the only one that can carry it. So I'm hoping that this is going to help me get more into the backcountry this year, and a little bit deeper, and get to do some more backcountry trips, regardless of if it's raining or snowing or freezing rain. So we'll see how it goes. This that I thought was snow, I think it's actually more like little ice pellets. You can see them a little bit better over there. You can hear them, right? Snow does make a sound when it hits the tent, especially because it's hot. But I think these are more like ice pellets. It's coming down, whatever it is. I think it's freezing rain, ice pellets, maybe a bit of snow. It's mixed precipitation. It's exactly what they said. It's hitting the tent pretty good, and I'm great. This is exactly what I wanted. I wanted a tent that was going to keep me dry when no one knew what it was going to do outside. Because once you're out here and the weather changes, it's too late. So I'm quite pleased. It's 23.2 degrees right here beside me in the tent. I'm feeling comfy cozy, and my cheeks are even a little rosy. I haven't been putting too much wood in the fire, so I'm happy about that. And I've got all my stuff out to make dinner, so I guess I'm gonna do that. I've got all my stuff out for my dinner. I'm gonna make chicken quesadillas. I've got some cooked chicken in here. It's definitely cold enough. Marble cheddar. This is lactose-free cheese. I brought some Renee's Mediterranean Greek dressing just to kind of use to put like in the pan to kind of cook them in. And then I've got 2 wraps here. Now I'm just gonna fold them in half because I think it'll be easier for flipping them. Over here I have some lactose-free sour cream and just a little bit of salsa. I was gonna bring a tomato too, but the salsa's already kind of pushing it. So just got my utensils there, and just gonna get to work here. All right, looking forward to sitting in my chair. I like sitting here. I like sitting on the ground, but my knees don't really like it. My one knee doesn't like to be straight, so it's kind of hard when you're sitting like this. But anyways, I am going to, how am I gonna fit these? I'm gonna do it like this. It's not gonna stay up. That's okay. All right, I'm gonna shred up my cheese. I think I might need another piece of wood on the stove. I'm gonna do that first just to make sure it's nice and hot. These pieces of wood are so small. My Nyko Alaskan Junior, when I open the door, as long as the damper's open, I don't usually get smoke. Every now and then if I'm using like some really wet wood, but most of the time, no. This one, almost every time I open the door, the smoke comes in, which I'm surprised about, but I don't know. Maybe that's how this one is. I did talk to some other people about it, and they were like, yeah, you're opening the door. Look at it. That's awesome. Just like on the camera. Anyways, whatever. lot of chicken. That's like the whole thing is covered in chicken. Pocket Bellow. It's from Kid Products. I love this thing. It closes up into this little tiny stick, and then it goes in a tube, which it looks like I've lost now, but I'm sure it's here somewhere. Anyway, back to the quesadillas. Oh, let's give her. Ooh. Okay, just gonna keep an eye on these and keep spinning them around until they get all nice and brown, and then I'm gonna flip them over. Hopefully the middle will be melted by then so I don't lose everything. And we'll see how it goes. It looks like they're browning. I can see it's starting to come up around the edge here, so I'm gonna see if I can flip them. Or if I should flip them, or maybe spin them around. This is all done. Oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. Oh, this one's getting a little sticky. All right, I'm gonna flip it. Boom. Opa, I'm supposed to say opa, I forgot. I don't know why I say that. It's just something I've always said when I flip stuff like pancakes or this. Look at those. Those are looking mighty fine. And the middle's all melted, so I just have to brown the other side. And we're good to go. All right, my quesadillas are ready. I'm having a hard time getting the light set up, guys. I just can't be bothered. I got my bear vault over here now with the little light on it, so that should help. Well, they look good. So good. Both sides are nice and brown. One side is a little bit better than the other, but that's okay. And I have some salsa that I brought and some sour cream. All right. I'm just trying to make them look pretty for my video or my picture, but I don't think I'm succeeding, but they're gonna taste good. Anyways, there they are. Cheese dripping there. Bon appetit. Oh my goodness. It is true, you know. Everything tastes better when you're camping. So, I'm gonna go eat. I'll see you in a bit. I am sitting here beside the stove. It's nice and warm. I have to keep shutting the doors because it gets too hot. And it is 17 degrees in here. I'm curious to see what it is outside, although I have the Weather Network so I could just look. I'm just sitting here listening to an audiobook and watching the beautiful colors on the pipe and watching the flames dance in the stove. It's so nice. And that's about all that's going on. Just had some pretzels and some chocolate, and I'm happy, comfy, cozy, warm, and I'm enjoying the new stove and the new tent so far. Well, it's 9:30 and I'm just sitting here in the tent listening to my book. I have achieved tank top status. I actually didn't really, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm dying, I have to take my shirt off. It was more like, oh, I'm going to put on my sleeping stuff. Maybe about a half an hour ago, I think. And I never added the rest of the layers. I was like, oh, I'm kind of good here. My thermometer says it's 20 degrees. It's on the floor here though, like it's on the ground. Good distance away from the stove, so it's probably about average. And that's about it. Nothing going on here. It's super quiet outside. Every once in a while I think I hear something, but the fire the stove makes quite a bit of noise. There's always like a shushing sound going on. And earlier when it was raining, add those two together, I thought I heard something growling, and I was like, I couldn't hear anything because there was so much noise in here with the rain hitting the tent and then the stove, the fire going, like it was just, yeah, so you can't turn it off. So I went outside to look, but I didn't see anything. I didn't expect to, but you never know. Anyways, that's about it. Just chilling. That's it. Bye. I just came out to get some water. And there's, first of all, that's my breath. It's very damp out. And there's mist rising off the lake. Kind of hard to see it in the light, but. So that's pretty cool. And then, if I turn off my headlamp, you should be able to see millions of stars. Oh, I just saw a shooting star. Oh my gosh, I gotta make a wish. Well, something I'm not used to seeing when I look at my tent at night is the reflective strips. I don't know if you could see them in the video. Yeah, I looked over and I was like, whoa, what's over there? Well, hello. It's 10:30. I know it's really late for me. I'm usually in bed at like 9 o'clock. I just went outside. I might be going to bed now because I just went outside and did all the things. I just went to get some water because I drank all my water. I made one bottle when I got here, and I brought 2 full ones with me, and then I had 2 full ones. So yeah, that's a lot of water. I think I drank 4 or 5 of them. So I didn't have any left. So finally I had to go out and go to the lake and get some water. So did that. And then I went pee. And then I thought, well, you know what? I got pee. I'm ready for bed. So maybe I'll go to sleep. But I'm not feeling it yet. The sky is just full of stars. It's so pretty. I took a bunch of pictures and they're reflecting in the water, and I think the pictures actually worked, so I'm pretty stoked. That's about it. And then when I came back into the tent, I was like, oh my god, it's so warm in here. Probably gonna go to bed soon, so I'll sign off now and I'll see you in the morning. So far, I'm loving the tent. I'm loving the stove. Just don't touch the sides of the tent. I learned that very quickly. And other than that, everything's great. It's almost 11 and I've just gotten myself into my sleeping bag, got all my stuff around me here, and put a bunch of wood into the little tiny stove. Didn't close the damper, but I, put it about halfway, and the front air intake, or a front damper I call it, is just open a sliver, so it should keep the fire going for a bit. The other stove is 3 hours max, so I can't see this being any longer than that. Maybe 2 hours, I don't know, but hopefully I'll be comfy cozy in my sleeping bag, and I shouldn't bother me if the fire goes out or dies down. The thermometer down here on the ground says it's 13.6, so still pretty nice. So one of the things that I was curious about when I got this tent was condensation, because it is a nylon tent, and that is something that you have to consider. I was told by someone who has a tent similar to not touch the sides of the tent. So when I set up my bed, I put my dry bag full of clothes and the bag that has like all the tent bags and gear bags and stuff over there, in between my sleeping bag and the bed and the wall. And I can see here, especially here's a place you can really tell. that it is wet on the inside of the tent wall, especially beside where I'm sleeping, and the most of it looks like it's right by my pillow where I'm breathing. As I was warned about it, it's not really an issue because I'm not touching the wall or near the wall. But yeah, just something to kind of be aware of and keep an eye on. Well, good morning from a very snowy Herb Lake. It's not very snowy, but I've been hearing the snow beating down on the tent for about an hour now, and it sounded like it was pouring rain. And I just got up to use the privy. I was already there at 4 a.m., but thankfully I got to sleep in a little bit at 7:30. And a bit of accumulation here at the bottom of the tent, not much. Just a little kind of dusting here on the rocks and the ground. Well, good morning. It's about 8:40 a.m. on Sunday, November 19th. Just sitting here all nice and comfy cozy in the hot tent. Temperature says it is 19.8 degrees. And it's funny because my CO2 detector says it's 22. Anyways, I'm just getting ready to make breakfast this morning. The Weather Network is saying the snow is going to stop within the next hour, and there's a small window where the wind isn't going to be too high, so I'm going to try to catch that. Today I'm making French toast, something I don't make often when I'm out camping, and that's why I brought it partially. I like to have different things. I don't like to eat the same thing all the time. So I just had this container at home that I got something in, and I put the bread in it because it is freshly sliced Italian bread and it's super, super soft. I didn't want it to get all smushed in my bear vault. Also, I need somewhere to put the egg in to dip the toast in. So, double purpose dish. I also had the butter cookies that I brought that I was eating last night in here with the bread. So it kept them from getting smushed in the bear vault as well. And then in here I have just a little tiny bit of cinnamon. This is a cool little container I got from my friend Scarlett. She had one of her toys in it, and I was like, oh my gosh, that'd be perfect for seasoning. So I've got that. And last but not least, I just have some butter. So I've got the pan on here, and I'm gonna put some butter in it, and then I'm gonna dunk my eggs, and I'll be back. Goes. Alright, it is 9 o'clock and it stopped snowing now. And my French toast is ready. Just put the other piece back on for a few minutes just to heat it up so everything's nice and hot. There they are. Some maple syrup from Muskoka here. All right, well, I already know it's gonna be delicious, but let's give it a taste. That's good. All right, I'm gonna go eat. I'll be back in a bit. Well, it's 9:30 and I'm just sitting on my deflating bed. I just packed up the sleeping bag, changed my clothes for the day, and I think the fire has gone out. So just packing up a few more things and then I should be able to empty out the stove and pack it up and then pack up the tent. So I'll be back. All right, it's 10 o'clock. Sun is out. It's a little bit windy. It's not too bad. There's like no white caps on the water or anything like that. I've got the canoe down there. I've got the pack packed. Because I brought this bin with the wood in it, I can just throw some stuff like the tent in there. I don't have to worry about putting it in my backpack because that's pretty much empty. It's just going to have the tarp and the stove and the welding blanket in it. So the only thing I have left to do is the stove. And what I'm going to do is put on my big work gloves here that I have. And I'm going to take it very carefully. First I have to take the pipe off. And then I'm going to take the body of the stove over to the fire pit and empty out any coals or embers, pieces of wood, whatever. And then I'm going to douse that with water to make sure that it's out. And in no time at all, the stove will be cooled, and then I'll put it away. So I'm going to do that next. And then I just have to take the tent down. Rings on it. Let it expand. And that's all there is to it. Put it in here. Gloves. Stove is done. So when I went to take the stove out, I opened both of the doors and I took off with the stove, and a big wind gust came and it just knocked the tent over, which is fine because I was taking it down and one of the stakes had come out anyways, and so it's already down. I'm just gonna pack it up. So just a note about the pole. I was a little bit worried about it because of it being so close to the stove. And it didn't even get hot, barely. So, not a problem with that at all. So there's the pole. It's got its own separate little bag. Alright, it is 10:30 and I am on the water. Just did a double check, make sure I got everything. Didn't forget any sunglasses this time, which was good. Some dark clouds up in the sky here. Not supposed to be any precipitation today, but it is 30% POP, so it's always a possibility at 30. Usually 40 is a little bit more likely, but you never know. It might just be snow, it might not be anything. Anyways, off we go. Shouldn't take me too long to get back to the car. Just gonna put my head down and give her and hang on for dear life when the wind gusts come through. Just as I thought, it started snowing again. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. You probably can. It's very fine and it's not heavy or anything, but just random flakes sliding through the sky. Alright, I'm just making my way through the water. I'm about 1 minute from the access here, and took me just a little over 25 minutes to get here with the wind gusts, so not super far paddle. And that's it. I'm going to insert the recap here that I filmed at the campsite, and that's a wrap. really great time out here. I didn't do much, but the point of the trip was to test out the hot tent, test out the stove, figure out how to set it all up, get comfortable with that, get comfortable using the stove, see what works, what doesn't, all that kind of stuff. And I'm really happy with the tent so far. I'm really happy with the stove so far. It looks like about a 2-hour length of time-ish as far as how long the wood burns in the stove before you have to restoke it, put more wood in. And it's kind of a short time frame. It's probably why I got some bags under my eyes. I did actually let it go out a couple of times during the night. I was really tired and I was perfectly comfortable. It was only about -1, feels like -4 last night. It was supposed to be, feels like -6. I didn't have the thermometer outside. I'm not exactly sure how cold it did get outside. Cold enough to snow, but it's not bitter cold. So yeah, so it was a good test for now. And hopefully we get some snow soon and I get to take it out in the snow. But until then, I'm probably just going to be using it in weather like this. And this is the reason that I got this tent, was because it's light. I could take this in my backpack if I want and just carry the stove, just because the stove, I could probably fit it in the pack, but I think it would be a little bit awkward because of the shape. So I could just carry it in my hand with my backpack on. I could do a backpacking trip with it, canoe camping, canoe hot tenting, or pulling it by the sled. So there's a bunch of options there, which I didn't really have with the other hot tent and the other stove. There was no way that I could carry the solo hot tent with the Nyko Alaskan Junior stove by hand anywhere. So big difference with the weight and the size for these two pieces. That's about it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There's lots more to come. I am a year-round camper. I like to do year-round backcountry trips, but I also do some car camping in the winter because, you know, winter's a little bit harsh and it can be difficult, and car camping is great because there's not a lot of people out in the winter, so it can be very remote and quiet even though you're in a car campground because you're the only one in the whole loop. So I hope you guys stay tuned and you check out more content here. And thanks so much for watching. Thanks to Lite Outdoors for sending the tent and giving me a great discount on it. And thank you so much to FireHiking for the stove. I hope you're enjoying my posts, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please click the subscribe button. Also click the bell for notifications. If you'd like to get more information on the stuff I use on my trips, please check out my website at CamperChristina.com. Thanks. Bye.